Welcome to Increase, where it is my task to increase, illustrate, and inundate you with information, knowledge, and overall help cause you to think. And I'm your host, Alpheus Gibbs Sr. Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome back. This is Increase, episode 34. So appreciative to everyone who is on and who will watch this. We're just going to be talking a little bit today about encouragement. I'm kind of a little tired right now. My family and I were out into nature and just enjoying this beautiful weather while we have it. And I just really begin to just think about a lot of things that's been going on personally, but also just with, the response to the podcast and everything in life. And I just wanted to encourage the hearts of everyone who watches. I just want to send this message out to you that, your best days are ahead of you. But it's going to take the work, not just of yourself, but your team, the people you have around you. So I kind of looked up, what is encouragement? Because I think sometimes we use words so loosely that I want to make sure that you, my audience, get a chance to know definitionally what a word is that we're going to be using. And so the word encouragement is the action of giving someone support, confidence, or hope. It's also persuasion to do or to continue something, the act of trying to stimulate the development of an activity, state, or belief. Hey, again, I'm so glad you're on. And so I want to start out with talking about encouragement. I want to encourage you. Um, so you have the definition of it. And I'm trying to, kind of formulate this a little bit better, but in talking about encouragement, just really pushing you forward, because this week has been so challenging for many of you, whether it's something dealing with your family or on the job or your business. For others, it's possibly something going on with church or even internally, health wise or even mentally, that you just want to be encouraged or need encouragement. And I just want to encourage you not to quit. I want to encourage you not to give up. Not only not give up on the plan, but don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the progress that you're making. You're making more headway than what you realize, and that any movement is still movement. And I think sometimes we overlook that. I think we overlook the fact that you are doing something that is going to benefit you in the long run. Everything is a process. And when you are accumulating or you're doing something that's worthwhile, it takes time because you're also building up healthy habits as you're doing this. So right now, it may just to be get off the couch, or it may just be to get eat smaller portion sizes, or it may just be to find yourself not being argumentative and just letting people have the last word. Sometimes it's really understanding that before others can see your value, that you see the value in yourself. And so you begin to value your time. You begin to value your own intellect just as much as you value the intellect of others. Sometimes you may just really need to sit back and love on yourself just as much as you try to love on other people. Love on your family as much as you desire for others to love on your family. Those types of things, even though they may seem small in action or even in thought, when they're implemented over time, you really begin to find yourself so much further than when you started. I think a lot of times we really don't understand how much, how incremental movement really over time really does put you in a different place. I had a manager once who said every day you need to read an article, and out of that article, you need to write at least a 2 paragraphs about that particular article. No matter what it is, it doesn't need to pertain to your particular job, but you need to read articles, you need to read books, you need to read, news journals, things of that nature, and begin to expand yourself. And as I begin to do it, initially I was like, this is dumb and whatever. But as I begin to do it, I begin to find myself picking up on different terminology. It allowed me the vocabulary and the vernacular to speak to pretty much anyone. I really began to find myself coming out of a place of fear because these things that I was reading was really not only encouraging, but it was giving me a courage that I didn't even know I didn't have. It gave me the foresight to look at things from a different perspective and begin to speak almost futuristically about it. It opened my heart up to different concepts in my mind, to different ways of thinking. And so I want to encourage you to do those things. Begin to open yourself up to new books, open yourself up to podcasts, open yourself up to just various different ways of thinking so that you can begin to get a holistic view of this world and even the niche or job or business that you're in. You never know what truly is out there until you start really putting yourself out there to learn it. You know, and that's just one of the things that I believe that we as a society we stop doing. As much as information is out here, it's no reason for us to be as ignorant as a society that we are. Um, and so with that, I want to just put that bug out there to you. You know what I mean? Just to encourage you to begin to read more, encourage yourself to listen to different viewpoints that are opposing to your own. Because sometimes we're so biased in our way of thinking that we really don't even realize that there's another concept or another viewpoint to argument that we may have, and that quite possibly it's not that you're wrong, but the other way of thinking it could be even better. um there are often there's so many situations in my life wherein I view things to be one way, and just being open to listening to others, I found myself actually moving in a different way, and it came out, what I was trying to do came out a lot quicker, it came out better because I opened myself up to that. um and while you're opening yourself up to that, um this it allows you to begin to heal, because the way you think is because of not only the environment that you were in, the information that you were given, but just also your friends and different things like that. And so I think that oftentimes when we think about healing, and especially in the realm of encouragement. We're like, go to the doctors or, see a therapist. But when it comes to like really healing, there's sometimes we just need to heal from like some of the decisions that we've made and allow ourselves to really um transition from, I'm not going to say an antiquated way of thinking, but transition from a place of, I'm only seeing things my way or I'm only seeing things this way. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to heal because we don't know what that looks like. We don't know what our healed self really look like. We don't know what our delivered self or our happy self looks like. We have sometimes like survivor's remorse because you made it out of the ghetto or the projects or single parent home and everything, or abusive situations, that that others are living that same life still. And so you begin to kind of box yourself in or really get depressed when you go out and purchase something new, or you don't go on vacation because of these various things. You're afraid to love your family the way that you want to and that you seeing yourself in dreams or whatever, because when you look at your own family, they don't have that. They don't have someone who is consistent in love without there being a hidden motive or agenda. Um, and so you withhold a great portion of yourself away from your family and even your friends. And so sometimes you even say to yourself and even to them, you really don't know me. And it's the part that they don't know is the part of you that is broken, the part of you that's sad or depressed or angry, whatever. And so, what you really want to do is get yourself into a place of healing. Sometimes just going on a walk, take your shoes off and just feel the grass and the dirt and all of those other things, and kind of just allow your mind to just wonder. Maybe listen to some great jazz or a harmonica, different kind of symphonic music, some way to not to escape, but to really allow yourself to decompress. Because throughout the week, throughout your life, so much has happened that you really haven't fully processed all of it. And sometimes in our own way, we're trying to find that healing, by way of going to get your hair done or going to get a massage, different things like that. But all of those things are little ways to try to heal. But in all of it, you really need to get away, get out, and decompress so that your subconscious can really fully display the whole story and allow you to be that best person that you are, and really allow you to mourn if you need to mourn, or really just get through your day, get through some things that's happened in your life. Healing is so therapeutic, but healing is so needed today, especially with people who have, deal with road rage and so many other things that's happening, that you really want to and really need to get to a place of healing. And when I say healing again, sometimes we don't want to get healed or we don't think about healing because when you start doing things for yourself, it's oftentimes said that people are being selfish, but healing can look like selfishness. But you have to make sure that you are okay. You need to make sure that your mental space is okay and that you're good. You need to make sure that you're getting enough rest and that you're hydrated, your body is hydrated. You can work out as much as you want, I mean, till you're blue in the face, so to speak, but your muscles need time to recover from all of that, and your mind and your body needs time to recover from just the things that has happened in your life. And so I want to encourage you to get that help, to get that healing that you need, whether it's going to the beach and just sitting in the sand and just allowing the waves and the water, to just carry out your cares, so to speak. But whatever that is for you and whatever you need to do, I encourage you to do it. Today is Friday, Friday. And so one of the things that we oftentimes, do in society, and it's been taught and ingrained in us, is we live for the weekend. It's like, oh, today's Friday. All right, let me go get some liquor. Let me go and everything is about Friday. I'm not working the weekend, so I'm good. But here's the funny thing about that, and that is when you're living for the weekend, you're robbing your present moment of its greatest potential. You're robbing yourself when you're living for the weekend. And when I say living for the weekend, you're like rushing to get to Friday so that you can enjoy Saturday, to only start getting sad because Sunday means that Monday is right after it. But when you live in your moment, you begin to just allow yourself to accomplish everything that you have in your mind to do. When you really begin to live for the day, the weekend just becomes another day because you're not running to escape anything. You're not trying to get away from your job or whatever, because you learn how to prioritize your weekend, you or your week. You've learned how to manage your time wisely. And especially those of you who work from home or you have a home-based business, you definitely need to be up on your time management, because you can actually um, map out your day, map out your week in such a manner that your Saturday, your Friday can look like Tuesday, because the way you've worked it out, you've gotten all scheduled for you to have more time than for work, and that your work is really, not even that stressful because the way you've worked out your schedule. And I think a lot of times we need to take some classes, YouTube, how to manage your time, and really begin to read articles on time management, how corporations, how executives do it, how they're able to do it, and really um utilize your time wisely. Because sometimes we say, oh, it's not enough time in the day, where did the time go, and so on and so forth. But if you really just one day sat down and wrote out, okay, at 8 o'clock, what did I do? At 8:30, what did I do? And so on and so forth. You'll really begin to see how much time you've wasted. And then do the same thing for the weekend. And you'll be amazed at how much you could have gotten done, but didn't do, because your time was just so scattered. It wasn't structured. And it's so weird because when you're in school, when you're in grade school, you have to be at school at a certain time. Every increment of that day is set aside for whatever task. And then when you get out of high school and you go to college, you have so much free time that you don't even know what to do. You know when you're supposed to be in class, but there's no one who has scheduled your study time, and no one has scheduled you to work on your projects and all of these other things. Or if you own a business, you know you're used to possibly doing a 9 to 5, and so now it's like, well, I can make a break whenever I want to. Well, or no one's telling me when to go to lunch and all of these other things. But if you schedule those things out, you'll begin to gain back more of your time. You'll begin to gain back more freedom. So you'll stop living for the weekend. You'll stop living trying to rush throughout your day and racing to get to nowhere. Your weekends truly need to be, or should be, for planning or continuing the work that's in progress. I think that is very much so important. Taking your weekend, that time that you have off or whatever, and begin to schedule it. And the more you're able to schedule in advance, then when people ask, are you able to do this, or what's your schedule like, you're able to give them an answer because you have compartmentalized each and every second or each and every time of your day. And then when something does come up, you're able to say, okay, well, I can rearrange this to go here or to another time, because I have, mapped out my day, mapped out my week. And so I know what I can and what I cannot do. And then you begin to set even healthier boundaries for others, because now they need to respect what you have set in place. When you work a 9 to 5, people automatically know whatever time you go into work and whatever time you get off, they can't call you, can't text you and all of this stuff because you're at work. But when they know you work from home or you have your own business, people then begin to say, well, you got time, or it's your business, so you can do whatever you want to. No, 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 no. You're not going to disrespect my time because you feel like I work from home, that I can do whatever you want to do, or because I have a business that now I have all of this free time. No, no, no. I'm running a business to stay open. I'm not running a business so that I can, look fly on social media. I want to make sure that whatever it is, that this business is not only, stays open, but I'm able to make money to take care of my family. And so using your time wisely, making sure that no one is disrespecting your craft, your gift, and your time. Whatever it is that it is, whatever it is to you, you don't want people to disrespect it. You don't want people to look at you and feel like they can now control your time, because to them you haven't structured your day to handle the task at hand, right? Um, Also, planning for the week. I want to encourage you to plan for your next week. You know, when you what you plan for and work towards bring you closer to your goal. It does no good for you to have a vision board if you haven't even planned for your vision to come to pass. Put dates on it. Put yourself under a time restraint. Hey, by this time I need to have this done. By this time I need to have that done. And stick to it, making sure that you have that it is set in stone. Your your plan needs to be well thought out, and it needs to be crystal clear in its understanding. To say that again, your plan needs to be well thought out, and it also needs to be crystal clear. They're two different things. It needs to be well thought out, making sure that whatever it is that you want to do, that it makes sense. It makes sense not for the people who you saw on social media who did it, not for your friends who gave their input on it, but what makes sense for you. Is it achievable for you? Is this something that you are going to be comfortable with doing when no one else is with you, when no one else is going to support you, when no one else is going to be there to push you, when no one else is going to be there to watch what you're doing? Is this going to be something that you can do? And then it needs to be crystal clear, so that even if, you know, um, something happens and right, like something catastrophic happens, or even something simple, someone can read it and go, listen, hey, well, I know I can help you with this. It needs to be crystal clear, almost like it needs to read almost like a manual to set up a printer or a computer or whatever. That kind of crystal clear. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I mean, literally written out, so that even in those moments when you're trying to multitask, that you're like, oh, this is almost like me walking my child down the steps. And you put your hand to the paper and it walks you through whatever it is that you want to do. That level of crystal clearness, that is so important. So important, because the way you think today, you may forget about doing that tomorrow, or the next day when it's time for you to do that task. And so you want to make sure that you are doing that to the best of your ability. Then here's the kicker. Your plan needs an accountability partner, and that your plan also needs a collaborative partner. Your plan needs to have an accountability partner, and it needs to have a collaborative partner. So you need someone who's going to hold you accountable. Hey, did you meet the deadline? Hey, did you finish doing whatever it is that you said you needed to do? And then the kicker is someone who's going to help you to do it. maybe a task here, a task there, or whatever. Someone who is going to every now and then come aboard and help usher your plan, your goal to meet the next level. I just want to encourage you because sometimes we get so caught up in I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. Okay, how? I don't know. Okay, so what's the plan? I don't know. I was just gonna start a business. Okay, what kind? I don't know. Okay, what are the laws to start a business in your state, in your county, in your city, in your town, in your village? I don't know. These are things you want to know, things you want to look up. You know, I want to work here, or I want to go back to school. Okay, what do you want to go to school for? What school do you want to go to? How many classes do you want to take? How aggressive are you going to be about it? How close are you to libraries? How close are you going to be to schools or whatever? Are you partnering with people who have taken a few of these college courses that you're taking, or are going in the direction that you're trying to go into? These are some of the things. Setting yourself up truly for success is really the name of the game. That's what I want to encourage you with. Setting yourself up for the win, because nothing great was ever done alone. Despite what Hollywood shows you, there's always a team, there's always people. This Facebook, YouTube, all of those things started with an idea, but they were brought about with a group of people who specialize in certain tasks and things, and they brought that one vision to pass. They brought that one thing together and they made it happen. And that's something that a lot of times we don't understand and we don't get. Even if you're trying to build wealth, even if you're going back to school, whatever it is, everything comes from a collaborative movement. Someone held someone accountable, because time is of the essence. Everything is about timing. Everything, everything. And another thing is that you don't want to wear yourself out. You only know but so much. So you're going to have to partner. You're going to need to partner with people who know how to do other things that you don't know how to do. You may know how to do it, but you may not know how to do it to a great level. And so you're going to need partners. You're going to need people who will take your idea and really, bring it to a level of excellence and a higher dimension. Sometimes, even in that, you have to be trusting that the people who you ask to help you are not only going to help you, but they're also going to be people who are going to take what you're doing and allow them to add some flavor to it. Allow them to fill in those blind spots that you know nothing about. I've never ran a magazine, or I've never, ran certain kinds of businesses, but there are others who I may ask to help me in launching something like that they have an expertise in, and that they're able to say, "Oh, well, he didn't think about this, or he didn't see that this might come up later on. So I'm going to set up something so that when we get to this place, then we can implement this," right? And that's something that, again, that I just want to encourage you with, that you have blind spots. You have moments wherein you don't know, and it's okay, but you want to make sure that you are doing what is necessary and what is needed to make it happen. So that's planning for the week, planning for the next week. You got to plan for those things. You plan for success. Nothing just happens. Everything is planned, and you want to make sure that your plan is as detail oriented as possible. Finally, I just want to say this to you. You can do it. You can do it even if you are afraid. You can do it even if you are finding yourself in a place of limitation, whether it's finances, whether it's materials, whatever. You can do it. It's finding a way to do it. You may have never seen someone do it before, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done through you. You may have never done it before, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be done through you. You are intelligent enough to bring it to pass. You are a networking person who can collaborate with others to bring it to pass. And so right now, at this very moment, It's really about believing in yourself. Yes, other people believe in you and they believe in your talents and your skills, but it's also about your value and your worth. When you look internally into yourself, you can do it. You can handle it. You can achieve it. It is yours. You can do it. There's nothing that you cannot do if you put your mind to it. Set forth a plan. It's amazing to me how, as Americans, as a people, we can look at Batman, even though he's a fictional character, and say with time and everything, he can beat anybody. But when you look at yourself, who is a real person, who has feelings, who moves about in this world for real, put limitations on yourself. But you can look at a fictional character and say it can do it. I want you to know that you can do it. Put your mind to it. Research, research, research. Collaborate, network, collaborate, network, and watch what happens. Watch how you begin to get closer and closer and closer to your goal, right? You can do it. The plan that you're working on, right? That plan is going to require you to mature and to be consistent. I'm going to say that again. The plan that you're working on is going to require you to mature and to be consistent. But you can do it because it's in you. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because I'm mature enough to know that, there's some things that is out of my physical ability to do. But I know that there are some things that I can do. So I'm going to do those. Everything else, I'm going to outsource. Then you're gonna go, well, there's a pocket. I have a pocket of intelligence, and so there's some things that I naturally understand, and there are things that I don't naturally understand. Everything I don't understand, I'll outsource it, and then I find someone who can break it down to me that I may understand it, but I'm still gonna let them do whatever they need to do to help me bring this to pass. Then you got to be consistent. Consistency is doing a thing, like you're doing a thing that you hate, like you love it, doing it even like you eat. I mean, you may despise it, but you do it like you love it. You begin to feed off of that you know how much you hate doing it, but you just continue to grind through it, being consistent. It's not about, and I learned this from my father when we were building a fence. He was like, listen, son, you can take that hammer, you can swing and hit this fence post as many times as you like. He said, but when you hit this nail and you consistently hit it on the head, it's going to do more damage than you just swinging this hammer and hitting this fence post all over the place. In other words, what I'm saying to you is that when you get laser focused on the very thing that you want, it's going to cause you to begin to not listen to the crowd around you telling you that you can't, or you're too young, or you're not strong enough, or you're not connected enough, or that you're living in the wrong place, or that all of these other things that may have limited them in their life. But when you get laser focused, you'll find yourself saying, listen, what I can't do, I find someone who can do it. But I'm going to keep plugging at it. I'm going to keep working at it. And the more you are doing that, the more consistent you are, you'll begin to create momentum. You'll begin to create movement. And when you start that movement, people begin to see you move and they'll want to be a part of it, because people like things that move. People want to be a part of something that is doing something. People don't want to be around people that doesn't move, that doesn't go anywhere. Even if you stand and look at a tree, trees continue to grow. They continue to stretch forth. They may reach their height going up, but their roots run deep. Their branches may only go but so high, but then they'll start stretching out even further. And that's what I want to encourage you with, that no matter what obstacle comes your way, that when you're consistent, when you're focused, you're going to bring it to pass. You're going to make it happen. You're going to find yourself being unstoppable. You're going to find yourself almost seem like you're bulletproof because you're just moving, and people are helping you, and people are looking at what you're working on and saying, you know what, I want to help this person. I want to be a part of what they're doing. I want to give to what they're doing. And I'll use my connections to make sure that what they have going on is really going to reach the masses and reach their target audience. And so that's why you have to be consistent with it, because you may start out something that's small, and before long you'll look up, and you're conquering giants. You're climbing highest mountains. You're doing the unthinkable, and you'll look up and realize that the thing that you were so afraid of, that you actually have overcame it and even went even further. So I just wanted to encourage you this Friday. I wanted to just give this lasting word to you that you can do it. That you know sometimes we're looking for motivation, but what's really needed is discipline, and it's really just grinding it out. It's really just getting in that movement, really just saying, not saying how bad do I want it, but I'm showing how bad I want it. I'm moving in the direction, letting myself know, not about anybody else. I'm letting myself know how bad I want it by the in-depth research that I'm doing, by the people that I'm talking to, stepping out of your comfort zone, getting over how your voice sound, getting over the voices of those who said, "Oh, you sure you want to do that?" Or "How you going to do that with where you live?" Or getting over the fear of eventually leaving your 9 to 5 because your business is prosperous, and it is paying not only your bills, but it's allowing you to leave and start a legacy for your family. Really pushing yourself to get beyond some of your fears when it comes to relationships, and really embracing those people who have been embracing you, that you may not have always gotten along with them, but they're a consistent love for you and toward you and what you have going on. And I think that as people, as you, my audience, as I'm encouraging you, I'm also encouraging myself. And I want you to know that we're going to do this thing together. So I look forward to you guys seeing this podcast continue to grow. We doing interviews with Joe Rogan, and I'm doing interviews with other pastors and leaders, and just with your average everyday people. I'm looking forward to exposing you all to a manifold level of intelligence, and even some fun and silly things. But I'm looking for this. I'm really encouraged and happy that this podcast is going to transition you know to a great level. And I think that you guys are going to be there for the journey, and I appreciate that. So I want you to be encouraged to know that today is Friday, but that doesn't mean that it's really time to party, because it's time to really show the work, so that your work can speak for you in rooms and in places that you have yet to walk into. People have yet to see your t-shirt and your hats. People have yet to see your services, and how you're able to wire buildings, and or how you're able to lay bricks, or how you're able to do carpentry, or whatever it is that you do. People have yet to experience you. And I want to encourage you to go out there and do it. No matter what comes your way, you are an overcomer. You are someone who is above achievements and achieving, and you can do it. You have it in you to do it. And so we're just going to do it. It's our time to do it, you know? So be encouraged. Have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing start to the best days of your life. You know, trouble is going to come. Things are going to come at you. That's going to try to derail you, try to slow you down. But you are so much bigger. You are a force to be reckoned with. You are a person who doesn't take no for an answer. You're a person, when they say you can't go left, you go right, then go left, because you're an overcomer. You're a person who conquers wherever you set your eyes to. And I just wanted to encourage you to be that person. Again, you guys have an amazing week. And I can't wait to see you all on Monday right here on Increase. And you, again, thank you so much. Don't forget to share this with someone on any of the social media platforms. And again, thank you so much.